now that we've got our piece done and we have our master template, it's time to grade. So let's go over here to the grade shelves, and there are two grading rubrics, mosaics and stained glass. You will choose the stained glass rubric on top and go back over here, and let's take a look at this. Now that we're going to grade it, there are two sides. There is a front, which shows you each category we have, plus whether you get a 5, which is 100%, 4.5, which is 90, a 4, which is an 80%, 3.5, which is 70%. You get a 3, which is 60%, or 2 at 40%. The back side has got two areas to grade. First thing you want to do is put your name, your period, and the name of this project is the color wheel. And due dates will vary, so year by year. So go ahead and put in the due date, whatever I recommended. You go ahead and you have a student assessment, so you grade yourselves right here. So we have A+, A, B, and so forth. Again, you grade yourself as a 5 point, so you did everything perfectly. Obviously, you did 4.5, which is an A, a B, a C, a D, or an F. Look at each one of these. All right, so let's look at each one. First thing, focus, elements and principles of art. Well, our focus this time was color, okay? Did I make a color wheel? So is my color wheel, do I have a red, a blue, and a yellow on one triangle? And then are my secondary colors in their appropriate places? If you did, give yourself a perfect score. Second one, master pattern planning. Well, here's our master pattern, all right? And it says, drawn, colored, numbered, arrowed, followed exactly. Well, did we follow this? Did the wispiness go out? Yes. I labeled it, okay, correctly, yes. Ooh, let me turn it this way. Okay. And I also have labels, arrows, and it looks like I measured perfectly too. Okay? So again, you would give yourself a 5. All right, next one, cut and grind accuracy. All the pieces fit accurately to master pattern. Well, let's take a look. All right. Does it fit perfectly? Well, that looks really good. Let's take a look here. That's pretty good. It should fit in. If your master pattern is showing through or your pieces are a little bit bigger, then you're probably going to be a little bit off. And again, accordingly, you would just check, most of them fit accurately, some of them fit accurately, most of them don't. In this case, I give myself a 5 or 4.5 because I think I'm pretty close, even though I think my orange might be a little bit off. Okay, because it looks a little small there. All right, next one. Copper foil application. Well, burnished. Well, it's kind of hard to tell unless, of course, you've got foil that's coming up. All foil applied evenly, no outside edges. All right, so when you bring this over, I'm going to look to see if I can see outside edges. Now, in this case, we had one here on the green because I had a foil band-aid. Let's see if I can tell where I put that. You can see that right there. Now, should you lose points for that? We'll discuss that at that time. Okay? I overworked it, so I should lose points because, well, I should know better. Now, again, when we look at this, we're going to look at this and I'm going to see if you have any shadows. I'm looking for shadows in the glass. That means we foiled unevenly. This looks pretty good. All right, so I give myself probably gonna give myself a 2 because I had one outside edge because of the Band-Aid. All right, solder quality. All foil beaded. Solder beads are round and smooth, okay? So, first thing I wanna check is, did I bead each seam? You can just feel it. If it feels smooth, well, then you did a good job. I'm getting a little rough right there. A little bit rough. Okay, but everything else is pretty smooth and it's beaded well. A little rough there too. Outside beads. Well, those are very beaded. You can see that. Everything's beaded. Okay. And they're all smooth. I think my outside beads are better than my seams. Check both sides. Looks pretty good. All right. So I got a couple of rough ones. I give myself, well, either a 4.5 or a B. Probably give myself an A. All right, overall craftsmanship. How did you care for the details? Well, that's, well, basically how well did I do each one of these beforehand. Those are your details. Flip it over, mark each one that you think, and then we grade it together. All right, so now we're grading here. Did I make a color wheel? I did. Planning, well, I did a good job on planning. Cut and grind accuracy. I think my orange was a little off, so I give myself a 4.5, but the rest of them fit really well. Foiling and burnishing. Again, I lost that one to soldering, so now I have an outside edge. Do I lose points? I'm going to make myself lose points on that one. Solder quality. I think I'm pretty good overall, but again, I had a couple of, this side's really smooth, but I had a couple rough ones on this side. Those really corners, so I still think it's A soldering because my side beads are fantastic. Overall craftsmanship, I'm going to go ahead. Ooh, I have 2 perfects, 2 A's, and a B. I guess overall I'm going to give myself an A. Count them up. Well, 4 times 4 is 16, plus 10 is 26, 27.5. Multiply that by 2 gives me, what is it? Yep, 55. Because 27 and 27 is 54, and then 2.5s is an extra 1, so it's 55 out of 60.